A new sense of life, you thought I noticed, right? I don't answer calls and I don't read your texts. There's no one at the tone, so please don't leave a message.
That song that you just heard is dropping next Monday, the 25th. So go follow my Spotify if you haven't yet, and hopefully it shows up in all your release radars. So today I want to talk to you guys about, really quickly at the beginning of this video, an underestimated tip, an underestimated thing you can do when making melodies. It's something that people probably do, but they don't even notice they're doing it. And alright, so I just made this melody right here. Let me record my screen so you guys can see what I, Kyle Beats, am doing here. It sounds like this. It consists of a few different parts. It consists of this guitar, this Omnisphere guitar. And then I added in this piano here. And then I added in this next sound that sounds like this. It's a little Electra X synth. Woo! And then I added in this Omnisphere. What is this? Oh, the brass. It's like this weird brassy thing I found in Omnisphere. Something that I have been guilty of lately when I click in notes, especially when I click in the notes, is opening up a keyscape, opening up a simple piano, finding some chords I like, aka these middle notes right here, putting some top notes above it to give it some character, to give it kind of like a top line little melody to it, and then adding some like lower bass notes to it. Right? Sounds good. Sounds like a cool little melody. What I did making this melody before I started filming today, I started with this guitar and I just did these middle notes. And instead of from there adding in a lower note and an upper note, because I just really want to get ideas out. Sometimes I get lazy and I just start adding other notes on the same MIDI. I think something I've gotten away from, and it's my tip to you today, is maybe there's a time and a place for these extra notes in this same MIDI. I think what you should try to do, if you don't already do this, is separate those sounds. Once you get an idea out with a certain instrument, open up another thing. So from there I opened up the keyscape and then I added just the piano. And instead of adding more notes, I just left it there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna open up something else. So I opened up a synth, literally just added 2 notes. And then from there, I got this horn and then added that little riff that I showed you. From there, you can like isolate certain things and make like verses. And basically what that does is it makes it a lot more dynamic. I think for me it just makes it less FL Studio sounding, less like electronic DAW. It just gives it like a bigger, more natural feel to it when it sounds like this. The melody sounds a lot more complete than this. And I think there's a time and a place for both. I don't think one of these is necessarily correct. Neither of these options are wrong, but if you're in the habit of just clicking in every single MIDI note on the same MIDI, instead of kind of separating it into different sounds and just opening up one synth and just using one sound and then moving on to the next one, I would try that, because I find myself getting lazy sometimes, opening up a piano and just putting all that MIDI in the one piano, every single beat, when realistically that there is a time and a place for both. flex and grab the Dave's 2.0. Actually, no. Probably dyno. Patterns right there. I kind of separate the two patterns, so it's gonna sound like it's gonna go back and forth from each one. And I got the scratchy in the background just kind of being fucking lit. And that's not going to be the exact beat like that exact way, but that's kind of going to be the idea behind it. If you listen to podcasts, I dropped another one yesterday with Gami, Origami.
This is the one thing that like really also changed my mind, and it's a fucking statement that it worked for you, bro. Don't give a fuck about quality in the beginning. Quality's gonna come with quantity.
So go check it out if you do listen to podcasts. If you don't listen to podcasts, I highly recommend listening to podcasts. I crush podcasts. Let's listen to a little preview of the beat I just made. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. That's it. Until the next video, I will see you guys in the next one.
While I spend me stuck inside the studio, inside, don't hate it. Maybe I should get right. Maybe you should turn left. Maybe you should decide. Any tide, pause, instead of getting rocked. And clubs of people you don't like and don't even know. Turning up, walking around, staring at them. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I drive a 2010 Toyota Corolla. When I get older, maybe I'll get something a little doper. Made 6 figures in sweatpants. Do my dance. Before this, I never got the chance.